All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome
What
to
up?
a special episode of the Ramblestream. How's our audio?
Audio sounds good. Hunter, you want to talk?
Test.
Oh, that
all right.
sounds beautiful. That's great.
Somebody just fired something up right when we went live.
As soon as the countdown ended, you're like, yep, it's about time.
That's about time. Start up and leave.
Yeah,
At least it sounded good.
We're excited to be here. We'll let everybody introduce themselves, but we are just kind of a preview. We are in Detroit. Well, are we in Detroit? We're in Detroit.
Ferndale.
Yeah. But
we call it Detroit-ish.
We're Detroit-ish.
It's not Detroit proper, though.
Correct, yeah. Between 8 and 9 mile.
But we're at a really cool event here at Moto, Michigan, and we're gonna talk a lot more about it. But just get started. My name is Richard Worsham, co-founder and head of design at Janus Motorcycles. I ramble with a 1980 Cushman Truckster, a new, as of 2 days ago, 1999 Ducati 750 Super Sport.
Very nice.
Just got it. One of those
Picture
ones,
didn't
I got
happen.
lucky. I put a battery in
for
it,
real.
and it started up.
Oh, what?
Lucky dog.
And a 2009 Kawasaki KLR and a 2017 Halcyon 250,
Man.
number 68.
Man, what a list. What are you
Weird
sipping
stable,
on?
but I like it.
It's a very strange stable right now. I
are
was
you
looking at all the bikes in the garage. I'm like, wow.
I'm a weird guy.
There's also a Vespa in there.
As you should.
With the broken clutch cable.
Yeah.
Fine. It's fine. What are you drinking, though, Richard?
I'm drinking water right now.
Agua, the only liquid. My name is Jansen. I'm coming to you live also from Moto here in Detroit-ish. I ramble in a Ford Lightning and soon to be rambling on a Phoenix 450 number 4 named Fours. I am sipping on some White Monster. Cheers, everybody.
The drink of champions.
Hunter.
I am Hunter Erdman. I'm the founder of Moto here in Michigan. I am currently rambling my daily C10 1986 diesel, two-wheel drive,
Nice.
rusty shop truck, but 30-footer. My daily ripper is actually 2025 TW200 that I'm stripping down to build to like a cool brand bike for the brand.
Nice.
Inspired by
T-Dub.
like Coleman mini bikes, which I'm.
Oh, it's inspired by Coleman.
Yeah,
mini
I'm
bike.
stripping it down, doing like a ladder frame on it. It's a whole thing. I'll show you the renders.
That's cool. Sweet.
But that'll be the first brand bike for the build. The
Nice.
Deus way of doing things. And then I've got a Triumph Bonneville 2009, fake carburetors, fuel injected because I'm lazy like that. And then. My grandpa's 1968 Honda CL175. It was sitting right here, but it's on the bike lift back there because we're rebuilding the top end. Because I blew it up riding over to work.
Nice.
The proper way to do
That's
it,
right.
you know?
Yeah. And I'm drinking water because I just got back from a bachelor party and I desperately needed this water.
Cool down a little bit, cool your jets. We got a good show for you guys. It's going to be kind of an abbreviated version, a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got another special guest who we just met today and talked to for 3 minutes, but he's going to be on the show. We're excited for that.
Chopper Rocks is in the house.
Chopper Rocks is here.
Yeah,
in
I got
person.
to meet him in person. So
It's wild.
exciting.
But-
It's always interesting to meet folks that you've only seen as a handle on
It
YouTube
really is, yeah.
in real life.
Yeah,
So.
you like put a picture next to their username without really meaning to, and then you see them
It's
and
very,
you're like, huh.
very seldom is it the
Yes.
right picture.
Yes,
to the name.
it's like when you are reading a book and you imagine this character, and then you see them in a movie, you're like, they did it wrong.
That's not right. That's not right.
They did it wrong.
Miscast.
Chopper Rocks, you're not the right Chopper Rocks.
There's something's weird here. But before we get into the show, Richard, it's only right if you give us a poem.
Absolutely. So I picked this one for we are Detroit-ish.
Nice.
So this is by the poet Philip Levine, and it's called An Abandoned Factory, Detroit. The gates are chained, the barbed wire fencing stands, an iron authority against the snow. And this gray monument to common sense resists the weather. Fears of idle hands, of protests, men in league, and of the slow corrosion of their minds still charge this fence. Beyond, through broken windows, one can see where the great presses pause between their strokes and thus remain, in air suspended, caught in the sure margin of eternity. The cast iron wheels have stopped. One counts the spokes which movement blurred, the struts inertia fought, and estimates the loss of human power, experienced and slow, the loss of years, the gradual decay of dignity, Men lived within these foundries hour by hour. Nothing they forged outlived the rusted gears, which might have served to grind their eulogy. So that's maybe like a poem about Detroit from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, it feels like it.
But there's new things happening here too.
New
And
life.
We're in the middle of it.
In the middle of it right now.
Smack dab in the middle
Literally
of
in the building of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Richard,
That's amazing. That's great.
it. Richard, I like that one.
I like that one too.
That was a good one. We'll be right back right for this.
So speaking of inventory 250s, we have 5 here today.
5.
And this is kind of a fun experiment. We've never been in a position where we can go to a show and have all the paperwork ready so that if somebody wants to buy one,
Locked
they can just
and loaded.
leave.
What were you doing before?
Oh, you'd take an order and then we would build it for you.
Wow.
So like we have inventory and we have lots of colors of inventory.
Lots.
We didn't even bring it all.
That's very dangerous for my wallet.
Well, you can walk
You shouldn't
away
have told me that.
right now.
Low price today.
Low price of $7,495 or whatever our price is.
I love it because honestly, I get overwhelmed by choice. I get, choice freeze a little bit.
Yeah.
Blank page syndrome.
Well, you only have
Call it.
5 options to choose from today.
Yeah, but right now I'm like, actually, any of them.
Well, that cream one is
Cream on
actually
cream,
really nice.
Saddle seat. Like,
I think we should look at one. Richard, don't you think?
Let's do it.
So we've got one right over here. Hi, Richard. Hi, Hunter. We got a little behind the scenes. I'm going to walk over here, Richard. If you want to just talk about it.
I'll do the audio here. So this is literally behind me, but I'm going to face the mic. So this is one of the inventory Halcyon 250s. This one is in American blue. We have, is that silver?
So good of a color, by the way.
That's silver. Silver pinstripe, silver feather logo. We got black leather with the deluxe seat. We've got, what else we got here? We've got single pinstripe. Looks really good. Standard fenders. Brushed exhaust, number plate, and the new upgraded Acewell speedometer. This is a solid, just classic. Oh, and it does have, look at Jansen zooming in on the fork tie downs. It does. All but one of the inventory bikes had fork tie downs. And I was loading them yesterday. And I'm like, why do we not do You can just hook a hook onto it.
It's always that way.
All of these but one have, which is actually 1286 up there, does not have fork tie downs. But yeah, this is a very, very, very classic Janus. You can see that
That's
carburetor.
one of my absolute favorite colors, by the way.
Oh, good.
So good.
Carbureted, 5-speed, 250cc single that has the bread and butter of Janus motorcycles. Oh, he's gonna show you some more pictures. So we're gonna take a quick gander at some of these other inventory bikes.
The combo of the tan and the blue together,
You
like a
the
his and
tan?
hers situation. Uh oh.
Yeah. So this one is JM 1286. Again, this is just a very classic. We got the deluxe seat. This one has ducktail fenders, and we got black single pinstripe. Very classic and clean, and no tie downs. Yeah, I was cursing when I was loading them all yesterday. This one is 1270. This one is finished in satin black with red single pinstripe, oxblood deluxe seat, and silver feather logo. Amy's wiping it down.
It looks tough. That one,
Yeah,
surprising.
it's got a little bit of mean.
Got a little
that
brute to it.
Satin finish. And there we are.
Double camera action.
Double camera. Well, there's a couple more. We have 2 bikes here today that we have a 450 and a 250 that we're doing demo rides on, and we've already had quite a few people take them out. So that little bit right there, that stood in for builds of the week because those are available right now.
Right now.
Right now.
You want it?
You're in
You can
Detroit.
have it.
You're in Detroit. You can
We're in
have. You
Detroit.
can be
If you're in
riding it
Detroit
today.
Today, you can ride it off the lot.
Ride it home.
Ride it home if you really wanted to. I hope you came
If not,
with a friend.
I've got an empty truck bed. We can get you home.
And if you just want to come hang out, there's also a lot of really nice motorcycles here and a ton of vendors. Which, Hunter, what do we want to do things first?
Yeah. If we can get, looks like
He's probably
friend's
selling
busy.
stuff, I think.
So why don't we-
has a customer, but
Okay, our thing guy has a customer, but so Hunter, just run us through some of the vendors you've got today.
Some of the what? I'm sorry.
Some of the vendors.
Oh, yeah. So this is our first show of this actual Makers Market. We set this idea up for a little bigger picture idea of this. I didn't want to be a craft fair because there's a million craft fairs everywhere. But this one felt like I wanted to specialize in makers of something, someone who specializes in, professional level workmanship. Little like hobby plus type of situation. And everybody who showed up here was carefully selected from a whole pile of people who submitted on the website over the last couple of months. They were submitting their work and their booth and their whole layout. And we said, we're going to be very particular about what we want here because we surround ourselves, like my background in industrial design and a lot of the members here are in the industry for design and machine shop. Like we have a machine shop down here, like these guys know what they're doing. And so if you brought somebody who is just kind of like hobby of it, it kind of feels a little weird. So everybody in here has been curated.
And is everybody local?
And everyone's local. We have all Michigan vendors, except for you guys.
Except for us.
We give you a pass.
We get the special
It's like
green pass.
Michigan-ish.
Detroit-ish,
Detroit-ish, Michigan-ish.
it's
Yeah,
Michigan-ish.
exactly. We count there. But yeah, and so you'll see everything from clay pottery to a guy, one of our members actually, who makes his own guitars from scratch.
Cool.
So if you go over there and check out his stuff, that's all made from scratch.
That's really cool.
Hand makes the wood and the pickups and the whole thing. So
Cool.
it's pretty cool. And,
That's awesome.
Very cool.
We're up to, I think we have 28 vendors here today. For a first show, it's unbelievable, and it is the coolest thing walking around here just now. I was very impressed.
Well, we'll talk more about like this venue.
Yes.
But it's the courtyard
I'm going to go grab him.
really makes for.
Freshly cleaned out courtyard. If
It's
you saw the
really-
before and after photos, you would be shocked.
I remember it from January.
Yes, you
Yeah.
were just here, yeah. So the courtyard, we just added pavement out there on the one side, so now it's a drive-through and drive-out, mostly for the cafe that we're opening up here. We have to have
Nice.
the ADA-compliant handicap spaces out here, and also we want them, so that they can pull in here and have the two spaces in here. But then around the edges, throughout this entire courtyard, we can park motorcycles all the way around the edge. During cafe hours, as you can see today is happening now.
Heck yeah.
Bikes just everywhere in here, and it's awesome. And it keeps them off the street so that cars can park out there.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
more room for cars.
Yeah, that's super cool. We've got our watch guy. He's waiting for someone to come man his booth for
I
a
can do
second.
that. I'll tap in.
I think he had a guy who is
Oh,
he's
cool.
calling right
Cool,
now.
cool. Yes.
But we can talk a little bit more about this.
Yeah.
Like, what was? So there's. I'm assuming you've heard of the bike shed.
Yes.
Is-
Yeah.
was
Big
some-
inspiration.
Okay, I was about to
Yeah.
ask. Was some inspiration pulled
Yeah,
from
big,
that?
big time. I think the London store is a perfect example of like they hit lightning in a bottle. They found an incredible space. They looked hard for incredible space.
Yeah.
And then they decided very early on what the tone of everything would be. I think it also helps that it wasn't like biker dude starting
Yeah.
that kind of vibe. And
Yeah.
I was like, look, there's so many riders out there who aren't the traditional classic picture in your mind of a motorcyclist,
Right.
or especially in motorcycle clubs in general.
Right.
We aren't a motorcycle club. I originally my branding was like a new kind of motorcycle club, but we're not even that. So a lot of people here don't ride even. They're just very obsessed with mechanical objects.
Yeah.
They love bicycles and motorcycles and planes and trains and anything that moves you, basically.
Slot cars.
Is the Detroit bicycle?
Yeah,
company?
yeah, no,
Are
yeah,
they- is he
exactly.
a
That's a
member?
perfect example. Yes, yes.
Oh,
So, and he's got, he makes those bikes. They're gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Unbelievable. You got to check those out later for sure.
Yeah,
super cool.
But like our whole thing was give a place for people like Deus and like Bike Shed, but in the Midwest with the Midwest flair.
How would you mentioned Bike Shed was they nailed their tone. What is your tone?
What's that?
What is your tone?
I think our tone is approachability and accessibility for all on motorcycles. Motorcycling traditionally is a pretty gate-kept industry. It's very dude-oriented, and we thought that was kind of weird. And we were like, why? It's the truest sense of freedom. Isn't
Right.
freedom for everybody? Like, that felt weird.
Right.
So we're trying to be accessible to everybody. And I think Midwest people have that in general.
Yeah.
You know? We always say,
Definitely.
everybody says car people are the nicest people. And I was like, well, have you met motorcycle people?
You obviously haven't.
They have not, because they are the nicest. Because
Yeah.
we've all been there. It's you versus the world when you're on a motorcycle.
Right.
And then you also have this common ground when you walk into a place like this. I think that's what's making this work so well. We're up to 85 members already in the first year without
awesome.
any public hours, just word of mouth. I think what it is you find a spot, you walk in the door, and you know instantly you have something in common with them. And that's hard to find these days.
Yeah.
Like short of maybe church. I can't think of another place that you can go to that you have that thing that you know. You walk into a coffee shop, yeah, you know you like coffee together, but it's not enough anymore, you know.
Right.
The worldviews are wildly different, you know. And
Right.
we've got people from all walks of life here, but the common thread is you love motorcycles and cars, you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only requirement.
Yeah. I feel like you're speaking our language. I feel like this is something that we talk about often, especially on the show, of like how, you know,
Go to a rally.
We talk about motorcycle rallies and
Yeah.
how oftentimes it's like you would never, ever hang out with some of these people outside of this space.
Outside of there, yeah.
But
and then you
once-
find out they're good people.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get to know them and talk to them, it's like, oh, I like you.
Yeah, you're actually
really
pretty cool. Yeah. That's also why we have a strict no religion, no politics at the door. Just at the door, leave it out there.
Right,
Out
right.
there is for that. This is Switzerland.
Right. Fair ground for everybody.
That's it.
Neutral, please.
Neutral space, yeah. And it's helped us, honestly, immensely. And we chose Ferndale for a reason, too. The Ferndale, Pride was yesterday. The big downtown event was yesterday. We're like, this is the space for people to come in and...
Tell us about Ferndale.
Yeah, so Ferndale is this really cool art city that's like... it's been like the last bastion of hope in Metro Detroit for cool, accessible, new, weird, funky... They call it Funky Ferndale, you know, it's the whole thing. But... I live in Royal Oak, just up the street, and we've had businesses in Ferndale for a lot of years too. And I love when we go out, we go to Ferndale. Cool. Let's say we don't go to the other towns nearby because it's just the best bars and restaurants, and everybody's cool and doing something unique. And the art scene is intense here. It's really cool. You walk down any of these art shows that they have locally on 9 Mile here, they'll shut it down and have the whole show, and it's unbelievable. Wow. I mean, a lot of these exhibitors here exhibit at those shows.
A lot of younger people.
A lot of variety.
A lot of just variety.
Variety. That's my favorite thing about it. It's
Yeah.
just like a woodcutter and like someone next to a fine art printmaker, you know, next to a glass blower. Like, just great art, you know.
Is it more of a younger demographic, or is it?
No, Ferndale in general is a little younger. I guess it
Okay.
skews a little younger, but Moto itself has a crazy range. We have everybody. We were just talking about it upstairs. I think our youngest member is 22, and our oldest member is like 78.
That's awesome.
I think. Yeah. So all over the spectrum.
So what was Ferndale in the height of Detroit? Motor
Ferndale
City.
was manufacturing along the train tracks here. So
Okay.
this building itself was originally, we don't actually know originally what it was. We think maybe it was a butcher way back in the day because the long part of the building off the train tracks here, this was actually the front of the building that you see in the background
back.
here.
Interesting.
Okay.
That was the front of the building. Then they added this middle section, and then they added the front section.
Interesting.
But that back section is like 1880.
Okay.
It's very old. And that's why the records only go back so far, and
Right.
lost to history. And
Right.
We're trying to piece it together through little hidden objects around here. But then when they added on the rest of the building, it was a student of Albert Kahn who spun off and did his own thing called Alfred A. Smith. He was designing architectural furnishings, and he was designing and building the Detroit public schools. And so when you walk around here, it kind of feels like a public school upstairs.
Yeah.
It's because that was what they made here. They made everything from the
Interesting.
mill work to the cast iron work in here.
So like staircase banisters and what kind of stuff was he doing?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time.
What kind of things was he making?
So it was everything, and then it was architectural furnishings like the wood panelings and the
Okay,
stair rails.
Stair rails. Okay.
Yeah, and then if you look, there was like 3 different kinds of wood paneling upstairs. There's like square tile that was like beautiful old zebra pine. Stuff that you just, luckily we were able to save, and I was sanding it down for weeks and weeks and weeks, but getting the old cigarette smoke
Right,
out of it,
getting
you know?
years of
It was
crap.
Yellow grossness, yeah. But it was really cool to have that history, and that's why the building is so interesting and beautiful, too. But then for the last 45 years, it was an aerospace machine shop. It was Precision Standard Inc. They made parts for the military. They made mostly specializing in polycarbonate and acrylic pieces. They made all of the presidential helicopter windows here. They made Bush's limo windows here, Bush
Nice.
Sr.,
So bulletproof.
George Bush Sr. Yeah.
Bulletproof.
Very bulletproof. Yeah, yeah. They're
The
like
most
this thick.
bulletproof.
Yeah. And the Apache helicopter wing tips, blade tips, Black Hawk helicopter nose cone pieces. We got a few pieces left. That
So
are
you don't
kinda
have
neat,
any
but
like random Black Hawk helicopters just kind of
not-
fully assembled
Not
and
full
ready to
helicopters,
fly around
unfortunately.
here? Okay.
No.
I just figured I'd have asked.
No, they were
But
still
some parts.
It was like still some parts. Yeah. We got a couple pieces that they were like required to make a bunch all at once, and then
Yeah.
so we got a few. We're trying to figure out ways to legally sell them, or at least get them back into the right hands. You know, we are trying to like honor a lot of the history of what was made here by keeping some of the cool character. You'll still see like all the old pillars here still say the no smoking areas, and I saw there was a someone wrote like a graffiti on the wall, like Kilroy was, but then they got cut off writing here, I guess. So it's just Kilroy was. And I just think that's very funny.
He was and
he
is.
was and is and is
And
part
will
of the
always
place.
be.
But yeah, so the other side of the building was a functioning machine shop, aerospace machine shop, when we opened this business on this half.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
even know.
yeah.
It's functioning still.
All this equipment's still in there. Yeah, so
And they moved out.
they moved out, they retired. So
Okay.
when we moved in here, we helped them kind of restore the building, and they were still kind of the landlord-tenant thing.
cool.
I see.
And then they just were like winding down the business, and business is tough these days, but especially for small volume manufacturers, as
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know
we were
anything
just
about that.
we were talking about it, and I was like, it's a real bummer. We wish we could fire it back up
Right.
and get back into it, and maybe there's still a world that we can. We kept a lot of the equipment, so.
Yeah.
And we're very interested, and we've got the talent pool, so
Right.
maybe the social club thing's going well. Maybe we'll focus on that later.
Might be a little chance.
If you guys want any really weird like Inconel parts on your bike, we can help you. Titanium,
or wild hardware. Yeah.
wild heart. I have thousands of pounds of rivets and aluminum sheets and just weird stuff over there. So
That's pretty cool.
also, if you need some aluminum sheets, I'm selling for cheap. Trying to get rid of it. I'm making space.
Need some aluminum sheets. Like, hit your boy up.
Okay.
We've got them here for you.
6061. I got all the good stuff.
What do you think is? We're waiting on our thing guy here.
Yeah, good.
But so I guess we can get into the ramble now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What
helps-
what is the ramble? What is the theme?
What helps foster community?
Okay.
Like when you're creating Moto, right? What was your thought process, or was there a thought process around like the community itself? I know you spoke to it a little bit about just being like welcoming and open for everybody. But I'd love to hear more of your ethos around.
and just like how and why you started it.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about an idea. Big bike? Is that
Ducati.
Oh, it's a Ducati?
I'm like into Ducati.
It sounds
now.
wacky. Oh, he's a Ducati guy now. You don't have the T-shirt and the hat on. Uh-oh.
No, I know, but it did come with a matching leather jacket.
I'm telling you, not a real Ducati guy unless you're head to toe in the merch.
You gotta wear the merch.
I say that a lot of our members are Ducati guys. We always give them a hard time. So the idea of community here, I've always had the idea for this like third space social club idea thing. And then I went out to the motoring club in LA. Shout out to Michael Rapetti, who started that out there. He was the first guy to do this car club thing. Because, you've seen these around lately. They're starting up, but it's for like rich guys. They're basically country clubs where they could store their supercars.
Yeah.
And they were just these weird, like, I don't know. It was like it didn't feel right to me. It was like, why is it that only rich guys can have that camaraderie over 8 of their Ferraris or whatever?
Right.
Or like, I think there's that sense of community here with motorcyclists and car people, but more approachable, like us, like for the rest of us is what we call it, And we were trying to spitball that from a business plan idea, like what price point do you set that at then? And we just landed on $95 a month because it seemed like for what you get, it's
So
pretty
did you
solid.
set the price before you even had like the building?
Yeah, because it set the tone for the rest of it. Because we were like, is it going to be a $3,000 sign-on fee and then lower every month? But and you can't make it $40 a month because then everybody will just come in here and overwhelm the place. And
Right.
so there's that sweet spot where you got some spending money on it. But to be honest with you, $95 doesn't get you very far these days.
Right.
It's a numbers game at that
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah, you need to have a certain number of
a serious number
members.
of so we figured about 150 members kind of pays most of the bills with the add-ons and stuff. We got a bunch of cool add-ons. But to go back to your question about community, the idea was give a space. Like we've all had the same idea. What if we bought a cool old industrial building with a bunch of our buddies and just turned it into our hangout spot?
I'm currently experiencing that right now.
Exactly.
And we are getting rid of our lease.
So that was the idea. Was like, what if we pile all our resources together and do it? The issue with that is there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so instead, if you have a single point person, both responsible for it, captain of the ship, and which means I also go down with the ship.
Right, right.
But I'm also foot in the bill.
Right.
Spend every dime I got on it. That
Every
sort of
single
thing.
last penny.
But that meant that everybody else can just enjoy the space. They don't have to feel like, oh, who's in charge of this? Who's doing this? And now what we found is members have stepped up and felt a sense of responsibility of the space, and they feel like a sense of ownership with it, especially these early members. We're up to 85 members already,
Great.
first year of being open. And they're like, hey man, while I was away, I was just gone this weekend, and they were like, oh, we'll take it, we'll hold down the fort. They kept an eye on things.
So you've set a. I think you mentioned like the problem with like having too many cooks in the kitchen is that it can be great, but it's very unstable.
Yeah,
and it's prone to collapse,
volatility a little bit, and just like infighting and whatever. But
by having a leader like what you basically said, I'm going to swing this.
Yeah.
Now you've set a framework where people can kind of come to the
and now they
forefront.
can kind of find where they can we got a guy in here who's like really good at helping with like restaurants. He literally starts restaurants. He came to me and was like, hey man, you need somebody to run your cafe. There he is walking by right now. Say hi, Andy.
But are you able to like how do you like you paying everybody for this stuff?
And actually Andy was just like in our case with Andy, he was just like, dude, I'll lease the space from you and run a cafe out of there. I've always wanted to run my own cafe.
Yeah,
and
but that makes sense for him.
That's perfect. And I'm giving him a great deal on it, and he's helping me out immensely because now we have regular hours.
Right.
There he is. Hey, Andy. Say hi.
Your ears burning?
You're on the live stream. Say hi.
Live stream. What's up, guys?
So the space is basically set up with these cool little capsule areas.
Yeah.
And so these spaces,
Cells.
little cells within the space because it was a manufacturing area. You know? And so like that little front cell where they packaged Apache helicopter parts is now the cafe. And he stepped up with that. But honestly, the volunteer members, like when I was opening the business, the night we opened for business on our soft opening, we signed up 30 members in that first night because they came every Sunday to the open house where they could kind of see in and see what was up, and they were like trying to be a part of it. They helped me paint.
Yeah.
They just donate their time. I am constantly
They're
blown
paying
away.
you.
And they're paying me,
You paint.
and they're helping me. I was like, I don't know what I did here to deserve this, but it is
Well, I think
wild.
it speaks to a little bit of the vision behind the space and the vision behind the club.
In the community.
Right.
It speaks to the power of motorcyclists in general and car people in general is everybody wants to lend a hand, and they're not asking for anything out of it. They want it to succeed.
Right.
And that is, no other business is like that.
Right.
I can't think of it. I mean,
Well, it takes something that's fun.
Yeah.
And that's worth people's time.
also you got to see that the person's willing to sacrifice it all for it. That helps a little.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a little bit.
But I mean, this is what you've got here is like, who wouldn't? What
That's what I'm
person
hoping.
would walk in here and not be compelled?
That's what I'm
to
hoping.
Enjoy it.
So far, so good with that. That's why
Yeah.
85 people said sure. To a place that has really like no front desk. We have no like I'm doing the Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I'm the janitor too.
Right.
So it's like it's not really a professional business.
Sure.
So
it
you
is.
mentioned that the other part of the building was operating as a machine shop. So you start where? Just tell us like how it started and what the growth was, because I've been mentioning this, but like there's basically like something of everything. There's a theater upstairs. There's a pool hall.
Photo
They're like-
studio.
So tell us about
We
how
don't
that
have a pool
grew.
yet, though. We do need that. That's next up.
It's
Yeah.
TBD.
TBD. Somebody said that hole in the corner
hole in
should be
the
a pool. I was like, oh, actually a good idea. So the when I first signed the lease on the space, it was still full of Bridgeports in here. It was like wood paneling, and there was like ceiling parts falling down, like old boilers falling down. It was just a mess because they were piling on. They were focused on making parts for the military, not working on a building, And it had just like slowly like gone down over time, just because contracts drop or whatever. And then there was fewer and fewer employees, and you know how it goes over time.
Right.
And then at that point, it was just so full of stuff, just stuff. Like we went through 10 40-yard dumpsters to clear this place out, and it was like. I'm a hoarder. I wouldn't throw out anything. It was just stuff.
Yeah.
And so we finally got rid of enough stuff to see the walls and the floor and the ceiling and cleared it all out. And then we clear coated the floor in here, made it all nice. And then we moved some stuff back in here. It was like one of those puzzle games where you have one open square.
And you gotta adjust and
Yeah,
move
until
everything.
and it was
Like
like,
my
that's
garage
clean.
right now.
Yeah. It's like my
You
garage.
just put two Ducatis in.
Too real. But then once we started chipping away at it, it started being like, oh, now we see the potential here, and then people started seeing what was here, because it was hard to see through the clutter, and and then we just started working our way out, and then by the time we finished this half of it, they were like, you know what, you're doing a great job over there. Let's talk about closing up that side, and so we took over the whole thing. So we were in 14,000 square feet originally. Now we're in 25,000 square feet. And it's a huge compound. We call it the Moto compound.
So just tell what have you got going on in here?
So the first floor is kind of event space, flex space, where we're sitting right now. We do stuff like this. We rent it out for photo shoots with the OEMs, the Dodge and GM and Chrysler.
We're in Detroit.
And Janus. And, we've had actually quite a few photo shoots in here, more than I thought. Wedding stuff. We've done wedding receptions in here, and it's been nice to be flex space. This is also the back corner is where we roast our coffee. In-house, we roast it all in-house. Our buddy AJ helps us with that. He used to own an Ash Supply Co. in downtown Detroit. Big motorcycle guy.
Okay.
He's here helping his dad sell rings. He makes coin rings.
Nice.
And the front is cafe and art gallery space. We're focusing the art gallery on transportation design theme stuff. Obviously, sweet spot for me. But we call it art that moves us. That's the theme for the art gallery. It'll always be focused on cars or bikes or planes or something mechanical, you know. And then the whole second floor, 7,000 square feet upstairs, which was office space and the CEO's office and stuff and the secretary pool. But it was also some light manufacturing up there. They had some ovens up there. All the bonding was up there for all the gluing of materials was upstairs. Boeing.
This was for the aerospace.
For the aerospace
company?
guys,
Okay.
yeah. The Boeing required them to have a clean room. So they have like a cool clean room that we converted to a photo studio.
Oh, cool.
Because it's like white epoxy floors and white walls.
Yeah.
And had a dehumidifier in there. And all the old blueprint drawings were really cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, unfortunately, had to shred a lot of that, you know. But we basically turned the entire upstairs space into a social club. That's where members hang out in. We've got a members kitchen up there, the little members lounge, where we took the old CEO's office where all the wood paneling. We turned that all into the members lounge with leather couches, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is the cigar room." And I was like, "You smoke a cigar in here, you're dead. You're gone." I had to sand those walls for 3 weeks with no heat in here.
No more smoke.
No more smoke. There was no HVAC in the building when we got here.
Okay.
It was just window units in everywhere, but you can feel it. It's so. The concrete is like 8 inches thick to 12 inches thick in most places.
Yeah.
The entire second floor is cast in place concrete. So if you look up, the rafters are all cast in place concrete.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like a ice block house. It keeps the temperature both hot and cold.
Yeah.
So we barely ever run the HVAC
That's
through here,
cool.
and just open the doors and let it blow
let the
through.
breeze-
So as a member, when you're part of the social club, what are you getting?
Yeah, you can come in, hang out whenever you want. We basically say it's like an extension of your living room. You can come in here, socialize, hang out, but you can also work from here. If you want to call it a tax write-off, it's
cool.
there you go. It's a co-working space. But we have like 5 or 6 members who regularly work in here, like as their workplace. You know, just grab a couch or a table somewhere. We saved all the old workbenches. I'll have to show you one of those later. They're pretty cool. Out of Toledo. They were from like the 40s.
Okay.
Sanded them down, saved them all. Yeah. Took off all the old aerospace goop. But yeah, it's like they can come and go as they please. They get their own key code to the building. Allows them to come in and out as they want. It's a kind of an honor system type of deal.
Yeah.
I noticed some bikes on lifts in the back. Now,
Yep.
Can anyone do that, or do you have to rent one
No,
of those?
that's an add-on. So the Fab Shop add-on, to keep the price of membership low for everybody who just wants to use the space, we do some things as add-ons, like the Fab Shop. Some people in here will never wrench on anything, and they don't need it. So the people who want it, it's only $50 extra a month.
I see.
And you can use the lift tables. That's an honor system too. So there's a lot of these DIY garages popping up. I don't know. You've seen them around.
Yeah.
You got some down by you guys, I think. Skid Mark's Garage, RIP. We just lost them. But they were doing a great job of community space and wrenching space.
Yeah.
My big thing with wrenching is that it's just, if you let that open to anybody, it's a liability issue. It's crazy.
And on the
insurance
tools
hates
disappear.
it.
Yeah.
All my tools are gone,
Yeah.
you know. But here, since you go through that paywall process, members are trained on the tools. They're, they sign the liability waivers, the extra liability waivers. You know, I can like vet them. I
Right.
can be like, you know what you're doing. Okay, cool.
Hey man, you seem cool. You're in.
yeah. But also like prove it. I
Yeah,
want to
right,
see what
right.
you. Yeah. And then lets people just kind of do what they need to in the space without kind of everybody having to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
that's the same with the photo studio. The photo studio add-ons also $50 a month extra.
What other add-ons do you have?
We have a +1 pass that's lets anybody bring anyone, like a member bring anybody. They can come with them at any time as long as you're with that member.
Yeah.
There's also a joint membership where you both are full-blown members, but the second one's half off. Call that like
Okay.
the couple pass
Yeah.
or the buddy pass, the Dumb and Dumber pass. The picture of them
They have
riding
to
on
have
the
a
bike
suitcase
together.
and,
Yeah. I think it's actually the thumbnail is the Easy Rider picture with Jack Nicholson on the back with the football helmet on. That's the picture for the joint member.
That's
pass.
awesome.
But But yeah, the goal
any
is
others?
keep
Any
it.
other add-ons?
What's that?
Any other add-ons?
I think for now that's the photo studio one. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's it for now. Yeah. If we come up with other, like we have a boiler room that we're going to convert into a recording studio. That'll be an add-on. The true boiler room sessions. You know.
That's awesome.
But on top of that, it's not just like, oh, come here and hang out. You're also throwing events regularly.
Yeah, all the time. We're doing way more public events than ever because we don't have a public hours or anything. We're doing a lot more like High Five Friday every Friday. People can come in here and spin records. Anybody from the public can. It's kind of like our way to let people see what membership's about and like meet some of the members. And so a lot of people like email me. They're like, I want to sign up, but I've never been. How do I see the place even? And I'm like, well, just come in. I'll give them a tour or whatever. But also, just show up on Friday. You know it's open. Just like Sunday service. That's open every Sunday, 10 to 1. It's our open house and cars and coffee. Yeah. Basically, the more public events I do, the less likely I have to hire a receptionist.
Right.
You know, it's
So, Hunter, is this your full-time gig yet?
Yes. Yep. I quit my job at Bollinger before they closed. Also, RIP.
So you've been doing this for a while,
For
full-time.
about 3 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So 2 years of just cleaning the place out, and then just sweat equity into it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was just leasing it, which that was a risky move.
Yeah.
My landlord was incredible. Shout out to Dan.
Hey, Dan,
And,
shout out.
Shout out. And I think I just saw him walk by. But he ended up selling the building to me because he saw the work. He's like a very particular guy. When he finds buildings, he was like, keep the character.
Yeah.
Because so many people will come in and be like, we're going to paint all this white.
Right.
Clean and new. You
Right.
need fresh and new. And I was like, look at the character. Look at the stories in this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
You would paint that? That's crazy to me. Like that pole has splatters of the old aerospace epoxy on it. Like it's hardened on there. That's not coming off.
Right.
You can paint over it or you can tell the story of it.
Right.
Judy, who used to work right at this corner right here, she was packaging Apache helicopter parts on that workbench that I salvaged.
Yeah.
Her name's written on it. And I was like, why would you get rid of that? You
Yeah.
know? That's beautiful piece
It's got
of
a
history.
story. It's like the building talks.
Yeah,
know? Like
it does.
It's
It
telling
tells-
you different things as you walk through.
If the walls could talk,
Yeah,
you know, they'd
right.
probably be screaming.
Yeah.
But
I'm sticky.
I'm covered in goop.
The building we're in is an old dry cleaner.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting like archaeology. You know, the vault for the furs and the drive-up window. And you always have people always are like, what is this a bank? And you're
Yeah.
like, no, it's actually a dry cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't expect a 8-inch thick vault door to every basement. You know,
Yeah.
this building's got one though.
Well, I don't know what you need it for, but it's cool to have.
It is cool. It is cool. Yeah, where we do the Ramblestream proper is. It used to be. What did it? It was cooled.
Oh, it was briefly a brewery,
Really?
and
So
it
we're
was
like
a
sitting in the
lagering room.
fridge.
Is it actually cooler in there, too?
It's still in there. Yeah, I need to
Noticeable?
just like you can turn it on. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a walk-in cooler over there. I was like, what do I do with that? They were holding all the epoxy.
That's.
I think our
think our
thing
guest
guys
is
Our
ready.
here.
thing guy.
We'll
Our
trade
thing
off?
guy is ready.
All right, I'll trade
we
off.
are going to take a quick break here, and then we'll talk to Jay, the watch guy, and then we'll talk to Hunter a little more, and that'll be the show.
Good.
All right, thanks,
Awesome.
Hunter. We'll be right back.
All cars eat at the gasateria. Old people eat in a cafeteria. My mom suffers from mild hysteria. Sent her off to northern Siberia. Met a man who came from Kingdom Come, killed his kids with a sawed-off shotgun, lied to his lawyers and the jury let him run, spends his time like a raisin in the sun.
All right.
So, dude, you guys.
Yeah, introduce yourself. We're live. We're here.
We're live.
The
I was
people,
gonna start
the
talking.
people are right here. You want to talk in this mic right here?
Oh, yeah, I Jay with owns Motor City Watchworks.
Cool.
Motor City Watchworks. So we literally walked in, and Jansen's like, "Well, we found our thing."
Yeah, I saw.
Your
I
watches.
did a quick peruse. I was like, "There's a watch guy over there. I think he should do our thing." And
All right, cool. I
sure enough.
appreciate it.
Richard, for Jay and the people, do you
Yeah.
want to explain
Yeah.
what a thing
What
is?
a thing is. So this Jay is like we've literally just tapped him on the shoulder to do this, so he's kind of getting thrown into this. But a thing in Janus world is an object that is understandable. It's an object that can that you can pass on. It's an object that has a soul. It's something that moves you. And so watches are often an item that, it's a classic thing. The watch that I'm wearing right now is one that was a collaboration between Janus Motorcycles and Laurier up in New York, and that was a lot of fun. It's an automatic. I'm partial to watches, so Jansen, good call. But Jay makes his own, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the watches that he makes, and also, can you tell us how you got into it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so getting into it was, I'd say early 2000s. I found a watch forum online, Watch You Seek. And I started going in there, and I saw people posting pictures of their bead-blasted watches. And I was like, I have a blasting cabinet in the garage because I'm a car guy, too. And
How convenient.
Yeah. So I went on the forums, and I would buy Seikos, Citizens, whatever, inexpensive stainless steel watches.
Yep.
And buy them on the forums. People would get a used watch, so I taught myself how to take them apart. I just bought some watch tools and started taking them apart. So I would bead blast them, put them back together, and put them back on the forum. Make $20, $30, whatever. It was a fun little hobby. Well, after doing that for, 6 months to a year, people started reaching out saying, hey, who did that bead blast job on that watch you sold? I said, well, I did it. They're like, can I send you my watch to do? I'm like, by all means.
Sure.
So then people started sending me watches to bead blast. And then I started doing loom work. And then once I figured out how watches came apart, then I started doing repairs.
Okay.
And then I saw
Really?
Cerakote, so I started Cerakoting watches.
Yeah.
And it just kept going. Then I'm a design engineer by trade in the auto industry. So
Okay.
I made some parts. I made chapter rings and hands. And I found manufacturers overseas to make some hands, and I would put those on my mod watches. Now, I've always wanted to make a watch because I'm a watch guy. I'm into watches, and my craft. I do CAD design, CAD engineering. So I've always had CAD models of watches, but now that, I never had time. The kids were little. I was full-time corporate job, commuting every day. Well, within the last couple of years, the kids are older.
Yeah.
They're not on their own. My daughter's still at home, but I have more time.
Yeah.
And I thought now's the time. So I just came up with this design and reached out. I spent a long time trying to find people in the United States who could make the cases and the dials for me. I spent a year trying to find someone in the United States who could make a watch case, which is difficult because the precision is crazy.
Yeah.
One manufacturer sent me a prototype, and the inside of the case was out of round by like 0.02 millimeters, but it was enough the watch wasn't waterproof because the O-ring was gapped the case. So when I was doing all my quality checks with my calipers and looking at my CAD model, I was like, dude, I sent him an email. I was like, here's the new changes, to get this thing waterproof. He never got back with me. And I get that. I wasn't mad at the guy. If he's got a $5 million, $10 million job in his CNC machine, he's not going to take it out to run me a prototype.
Yep.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
So I do have overseas suppliers who make my parts, but I do all the assembly. I hand loom every dial. I make the watch hands from scratch as well. But that's how it all went.
So can I see one? I just want to poke at it. That's a really, wow. So
They're heavy.
They are heavy and they're tall. So what we're looking at here is this one's stainless steel.
That one's stainless steel.
Beautiful dial, but you're having the case made. I mean, basically everything except for the movement.
Correct. The movement is a Seiko. I buy that completed. But I do regulate the movements. All the movements are regulated in 3 positions. The dials are a single disc of machine titanium, and I make the hour and minute hand from scratch. I cut them out on my laser engraver from 0.2 millimeter thick titanium.
Wow.
They're very cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
It's really
it.
a statement. I mean, that
Yeah,
thing on your wrist.
I
is
know
not,
it's a little chunky. It's out of the ordinary, but I wanted,
Yeah.
I wanted to do something different. Just
So what are your watches? What's your brand name?
Motor City Watchworks.
Motor City Watchworks.
So I got a website. I'm on Instagram under Motor City Watchworks too.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
So you got into it from just forum research and like modification, and then after modifying people's watches for them and maybe doing parts, that's when you
I
got
made
into
some
it.
parts too, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, this is something that I could start a business doing.
Yeah, man. Even when I was a kid, I loved having watches.
Yeah.
I always wore a watch, even when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when I had, like I said, when I was on the forums early in the internet, I'm like, oh, cool, watch forums. This is so awesome, man.
Yeah.
People from around the world loving watches.
Yeah.
And it just all stemmed from there.
So what is it about a watch for you that's so fascinating? I mean, the technology is antiquated, right?
That's part of it,
Oh,
right?
that's part of it.
I have a coworker who teases me because I don't have any apps on my phone, and I don't want to act like some Luddite who doesn't like
was about to
technology.
say, are you a Luddite?
I mean, I build my own websites. I had to get a mailing list out of my work orders, so I used ChatGTP to write a Python script to extract all the emails because I didn't want to open every freaking Word document to extract
Yeah.
the email out because I wanted to mail all my watch customers. So I'm into technology, but at some point, I have to stop with the technology.
Yeah.
And that's why I just love the watches. It's old school. It's simple. It tells you the time.
Right.
And time is our most valuable asset. It really is.
Yeah.
Time goes by whether you use it or not.
Yep.
That's cool. That's
So
cool.
what was your inspiration for the actual design of the watch? Because they're very unique looking.
So I did no sketches. I just sat down, pulled up my CAD program, and I just designed that as I saw it in my head. And at the same time I designed it, I did the engineering to make sure all the clearances were set up. And I wasn't even too sure about some of the clearances. Yes, I took other watches that I had taken apart and did some basic measurements.
Yeah.
But you don't know if your watch is going to go together until you have the parts in your hand
Right.
and you start putting them together.
Right.
So there was a little bit of pucker factor. I'm cutting all these checks and ordering all these parts. I'm like, holy crap! If this thing don't go together, that's another $1,000 down the drain. So
Do you what is your plan for the future? Do you have any plans to do something different with like the watches?
I will continue doing this. This watch was the first. I currently have another one that I'm designing. There's a 3D print over here at the
Oh
booth.
yeah, I
have
saw
a
that.
3D print.
Yeah.
So that's what I start with. Even with this, when I had this design, I had to buy a 3D printer. So I bought the Anycubic D2 because it's the DLP and it can do 0.02 millimeter layers, and I need that
Yeah.
resolution. So I first had to teach myself how to do 3D printing
Yep.
because nothing is plug and play nowadays. So I would 3D print the case just so I could, get an idea of the scale.
Yeah.
Watches look a certain way in CAD, but when you put them on your wrist, you're like, oh, what was I thinking? It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So after the 3D print, and I'm happy with the way everything looks, then I do an aluminum prototype because there's a lot of places like Send Cut Send can make an aluminum prototype out of
Yeah.
this because they can machine it.
Hi,
There's
Gary
Gary.
Smith.
Hi, Gary Smith. And then so it goes from the aluminum prototype. Then that way, if it's metal, I can color it and get
Yeah.
a close approximation to what the production colors will be like.
Yeah.
And once all that proves out, then I'll pony up and pay for a actual prototype that is going to be the production part. But this is where it gets scary because my manufacturer makes a die.
Yeah.
So, because they're not going to CNC from a block because it's too much material, removal, take them forever. So they make a die, they stamp the initial shape, then they CNC.
Yeah.
Well, once that die is made, I can't come back and say,
Go
boy,
back.
I really wish this
Actually-
watch was
But
a
you can
millimeter
probably
bigger.
you can work with some tolerances and stuff like that
They can
afterwards.
change
Yeah.
certain things, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
If I do any major change, it's a whole new die I have to pay for.
Yeah.
How many watches are you selling a year, let's say?
Dude, I've only been this. So it's taken me almost 3 years to get to this point because it's part-time. I have a full-time corporate job. I still got to cut the lawn. You know what I mean? I got a boat.
Gotta stay in that grass.
Exactly. I'm on my boat all summer.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do do anything all summer.
Yeah.
So it's taken a long time to get to this point. So last year in November, I did the pre-order for this watch.
Okay.
And then by the time I had the parts and I started making them, the first customers who ordered the pre-order, they got their watches in early February of this year.
Okay, cool.
And we're in June. So
Okay.
Awesome.
That's really,
awesome.
really cool.
Well, Jay, thank you so much for hopping on and telling us about your watches. This is super cool. What was the website one more time?
Motor City Watchworks.
Motor City Watchworks. Awesome. Well, Jay, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm
That's what
excited
I do.
to look a little bit closer at your watches when I go to your booth after
I'll
the show.
give you a discount code, dude.
Wow, dude. Uh-oh. Thank you, Jay.
Awesome.
All right, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We want to have Hunter back on here?
Yeah, we'll have him sign off, and then we'll
end
and
the
this has
show.
actually been, how long are we going on? now?
We're over an hour. Yep,
Yeah.
we're still live.
I would just like to make a notation that I hate Hunter for buying this building because I'm really jealous, and it's got a cool guard shack, and I hate him because of it. But he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Go on
Awesome.
back on, Hunter. We're just going
We're just gonna sign
to
off.
sign off here. Anything else that you want to tell the people?
I'll go buy a Janus motorcycle.
Thank you.
Honestly,
What are you
it's
do? What are you gonna do with
unbelievable.
the other side of the building where the
We're
machine
gonna
shop
turn
was?
that into machine shop. Keep it a
Oh, it's
machine
gonna
shop.
stay a machine
yeah,
shop.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
just have it a bigger fab shop add-on.
Awesome.
You know,
That's awesome.
And
cool
we've
it
got
is.
Gary.
Gary Smith.
Y'all should know that guy.
Yeah, honestly, my upstairs in the member lounge, I
Yeah.
didn't even stage it this way. I got a Rambler's Companion book
Nice.
sitting on the coffee table. I'll thumb through it every once in a while if I'm just like slow down, because I'm like, always running around, mile a minute, But I'll sit down and I'll read a little take out of it. And honestly, if you haven't read it yet, go grab one. It's excellent.
There's a link in the description, so
And there you go, boom.
get it if you want. Well, thank you
didn't
so
even
much
pay
for
me
being
to
on
do
the show. Thank you so much for creating a space this cool and for hosting events like the Moto Market.
Yeah, if anybody's ever in town, come on by. If that hasn't been enough to sink in here, hopefully check out the website. You'll see some
And
great pictures.
we're open here until 6. Is that
Till
right?
6 tonight,
So
yeah,
if
if
you're
you're-
in the area,
you're live-
consider coming on by. This is running from 11 to 6.
Yep,
So-
noon to 6. I
Noon
think?
to
Yeah,
6.
Noon to 6.
There we
today.
go.
And then every single Sunday, 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
There you go. Well, that's been the show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you not tomorrow. We won't have a show tomorrow, but we'll see you the following Monday. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
watching.